Hi everyone, Jordan here from Parrot Art Studios. You probably have noticed that we're not in the same setting as we're usually in. Um, and we're with my dogs. I just decided to add my dogs into this video because I will be drawing them for the next couple pieces. So this part so for this part I will be drawing my Husky Lab mix, Dakota. She is my 9-year-old dog. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.
So I'm not going to really show me doing the background too much just because it's a very repetitive motion. Um, Basically, all what you do to get a nice gradient background is you just keep on working in a circular motion. If you work in directional lines, like just straight and up and down, you're going to be able to see those directional lines you are when you're done your blending. So if you do not want to see those lines, just keep on working in a circular motion rather than those directional lines. For the nose, I actually use my 3H and HB a lot. Within the nostril, I kind of started with a little bit of a softer lead. I used my HB and my 3H to start off in the darker areas. But starting out with your harder lead pencils are definitely better than just jumping to the softer lead pencils, because if you jump to the softer lead pencils, you'll start to get a shine to your drawing. And if you're someone who doesn't like that shine, this is a quick solution to get rid of that. So if you go over a part with a softer lead pencil, like let's say a 5H, and you find that it gets very shiny after you blend it, just go back down to a 3H and kind of don't go hard, because you don't want to really you don't want to score your paper and damage the paper. But if you lightly go over that area with a 3H, a 4H, um, it's gonna bring it back down. And you can add as many layers as you want, as long as if you don't damage the tooth of your paper. So if you just go very lightly in that same spot with one of your H pencils, you're going to find that it brings down that shine immensely. With drawing, though, it's not just your pencils that are going to be your tools. It's going to be your blending stumps. You can use Kleenex, you can use your fingers, you can use conté, charcoal, your erasers. All these kind of mixed tools are going to help you a lot with your drawing. You'll see that one of my favorites is the gum eraser. It's a kneadable eraser that when you knead it, it becomes more malleable. Um, you can roll it into like a fine point and get into smaller areas, or you can uh, keep it as a big clump and get bigger areas. I really like this eraser. It's not a type of eraser that you would use to like get a spot entirely clean. This is an eraser that you would dab on a spot and it will slowly lift the graphite off of that spot that you're dabbing it on. What I also like to do is I will like flatten it out and kind of like make a nice thin line, and I will go into spots that are kind of more like hair textures and just kind of give a few swipes into those areas, and it will take out the graphite just enough to kind of bring out a texture. What I also like to do to help make highlights and for textures is I like to take my bigger white eraser and just kind of cut a chunk out of it with a X-Acto knife. And what this does is it allows me to be able to get a really hard edge on a white eraser, And yeah, I will just kind of go in the same direction as the fur and just give a few nice swipes of that eraser, and it will take the graphite out, and it will really help make a fur texture. Um, Not just fur, you can even use it for hair, like longer hair. It works out very well. Um, but yeah, your tools are going to be what help you out a lot with your drawing. Blending stumps are a really good thing for blending. Of course, that's kind of what they're made for. I used to have a bunch of different sizes, but for some reason I just could not find them. So what I used instead was a Kleenex, and I would just kind of like roll it into a finer point, and I found that that worked really well for areas that I had to get into smaller grooves. Um, but I used to have like a really tiny blending stump that I wish I could show you guys in this video, but I guess I don't really have it. Anyways, I used a little bit of conté in this drawing and a little bit of charcoal just in those really dark spots, like within the pupil and the nostrils. I used some conté, or not conté, I used charcoal. Um, I use conté just for the highlights of the eye and a little bit for the shine on the nose. Um, for my pencils, for like the majority of this drawing, I didn't really swap a lot between a lot of my pencils. I did have a nice range of pencils, like I used once again my 3H, my HB, my 3B, and then I kind of stepped it up a little bit. I went to softer lead, and I did my 7B, 8B, and 9B. And I did not use those pencils a lot at all. Dakota is very, she's an off-white color. A lot of people actually mistake her for just a yellow lab, but she has no yellow lab in her whatsoever. Um, so I kind of keep it on the lighter side. It's kind of hard to see just because my light that I'm using behind me is just it's so powerful that it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing, but you can see I'm working in sections, and I'm going in the direction of her fur. I'm not going like horizontally or diagonally. I have bend, and I have movement within my pencil lines, and my pencil doesn't really lift off of the paper as much when I'm doing fur. It's not like I'm trying to get each individual um, hair. I just need to get clumps of it and make it look like it's um, like there's layers of it, not necessarily it's not like I'm trying to do a cartoon broomstick where at the bottom I'm just like doing a bunch of lines. I need to make it look as if though it's on something that has structure, and so you'll see that my pencil doesn't really lift off of the paper as much as you would probably think it does. When drawing animals, you also really want to pay attention to how short and how long the hair is. You'll notice down by the muzzle, I work in very short pencil lines. I even just go in circular motions, pretty much how I did the background, because the hair is so short, it's almost like velvet. And then around the ear, her hair is much longer, so I use a much longer pencil line. Um, and then there's like that midsection kind of around the cheek where it's like shorter or like medium length hair, so you'll see that my pencil lengths really vary how to make textures within this drawing. What I used to blend the fur was, once again, a piece of Kleenex. I find that Kleenex gives a very soft blend. Blending stumps just kind of take everything away and blends everything out to a point where it's like completely smooth like butter. So I found that the Kleenex really made things kind of stay defined, but blended things out enough to kind of start working on the next layer. So yeah, you'll see that I work with pencil, blend it out, and then I'll take a eraser and kind of make those highlights defined once again, and then it's time for the next layer. You'll just continue that series of steps within your drawing until you're happy with it. You'll take your pencils, do your entire layer with your pencils, and then you'll take your Kleenex, blending stump, whatever tool you're using, blend it out, clean everything up with your eraser, make your highlights back again, and then move on to your next layer and just keep on doing that. And yeah, once you're happy with things, that's usually when you put things to an end. I'll put a picture up at the end of this video just because of how much that light has affected how the recording has gone. I'll put a picture up at the end for you guys so you can see it. But at this point I am now pretty much just looking at things and seeing what can make the drawing better. I kind of put away my reference photo at this point, and yeah, I'm just basically fixing everything up, adding contrast to things that need contrast, and yeah, just crispening up all those lines. So yeah, that's basically it for this drawing. I hope you guys enjoyed. Our next drawing is very similar to this one, so don't worry, I'll have a lot more pointers in our next video.
So that is it for this video this week. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Our next video is going to be on this dog over here. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And I will leave all the links in the description for you guys for all of the social media platforms that I'm on, as well as my website. And I'll even just put a link in Pixabay, even though none of the reference photos from today was from Pixabay. I'll still put it in there just because it's a wonderful website for artists. So if you guys want to be notified for when the next video is uploaded, you can just hit that subscribe button and you guys will be notified. So, but besides that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye-bye.